Manchester United, Barcelona then doesn't get any bigger than this for Manchester United, doesn't get any harder than this for Manchester United either. I mean, I'm just going in with it, with the fact that Manchester United are still in the Champions League, to be honest. Somehow we managed to scrape through that game against PSG, and let's just go out there and enjoy ourselves and give it a good old go. And when we get knocked out, we weren't expecting to get this far. Anyway, it's a miracle that we're even this far with the shit that we have to put up with in the team. I mean, who would have ever thought it that Phil Jones and Chris Smalling would still be playing for Manchester United along with Ashley Young and going into a mammoth game in the quarterfinals against Barcelona. I mean, Jesus Christ, if you want to make it in life, they're the real inspiration. Jesus Christ. And how they're going to be coming up against Messi and co on Wednesday night is just beyond me. I mean, shouldn't be playing for Manchester United, and this team is an absolute joke. And somehow we've got by the first few months under Solskjaer with great optimism around the club. He brought a great feel-good factor around the club, but since that's died off, Manchester United have gone horseshit again. Back to the dog shit that we've seen under Jose Mourinho. And to be honest, although I'm still unconvinced whether Solskjaer's going to be here long-term past next season, I'm not sure at all. I can't expect that at all. But it isn't Solskjaer's fault what's going on, I don't think, at Manchester United. This team is bang average at best. And going into this game, it's just, you can't expect Manchester United to get anything from these two games. To be honest, I'll be happy if Manchester United could at least score 1 or 2 goals over these two legs and at least compete with Barcelona and only narrowly go out. I would be content with that. I think most people would have actually been content with that on the night. If we'd gone out 2-1 against PSG, I think people would have said at least we've had a fight, we've won the game, the first team to beat PSG away all season, their ground all season, and we've gone out and they were the better team. But we somehow managed to scrape through, and I think people would feel the same in this tie, to be honest. I don't think any Manchester United fan are expecting anything but a defeat in this game, and to be honest, there's no way Manchester United winning this Champions League, just no way for me. Now, Price knows what team he's going to put out for this game, because he mixed it up against Wolves and it really didn't work for Manchester United. I mean, Fred making a horrendous mistake in that game, and we've seen the calamity of Jones and Smalling in the second half. I just don't know where we go with this Manchester United team. To be honest, so many players have been here far too long and just haven't performed anywhere near what a Manchester United player should be performing at. I just cannot think of any player in this squad that has performed over the last 2 or 3 years to the level that Manchester United need to be at, apart from David De Gea. I just really can't. No one has performed at that high level. The only optimism you have around probably is Marcus Rashford, because he is improving season after season. But besides that, maybe some of Paul Pogba's form when Ole Gunnar Solskjaer come in. But besides that, you cannot think of any players that have been that deserve to stay at Manchester United, to be honest, in this current team. So, but we go to this game. What team would I actually put out for this game? David De Gea being goal. It's going to have to be Young, Shaw, Lindelof and Smalling. That is the best out of a bad bunch, to be honest. Horrendous defence. Shouldn't be a Manchester United defence. None of them players in that back forward got in a top team of yesteryear, but hey ho, we've got to do this against Messi and co, and it's almost mission impossible. Midfield 3, Pogba, Herrera and McTominay for me. And oh my god, I just don't know who we're going to play up front. He's probably going to go for the 3 that's probably done in the best in the early stages of his managerial career at Manchester United. Probably going to go for Rashford, Marshall and Lingard. But I mean, I just don't know. I mean, that's providing that Rashford is fit and ready to go for this game, which I presume he would be. I mean, obviously he's got the other options of Lukaku and Mata as well, but none of these forwards have been performing at the level that Manchester United need in order to get back to the top. and that is why the only optimism I have of this front forward line is Marcus Rashford. The others, I just don't have the optimism that these players are going to take Manchester United to that next level and to compete against the likes of Barcelona. And if we play that front three of Martial, Rashford and Lingard, for me it served him well in his first few games as manager of Manchester United, but I don't think that front three is good enough to take Manchester United forward for next season. We've got to improve them players. I'm still not totally convinced on Anthony Martial. I think he's good in spells and he's bad. I mean, one week he can look like Thierry Henry, the next week he can look like bloody Bebe or something. It's just so inconsistent from him. Jesse Lingard for me still is at times shown some good spells, but should be a squad player at best going into next season. So there's a lot of work to be done in the whole of the team. But this is coming up against the best team probably in Europe, or certainly up there with the best. And we're coming up against the most informed player and probably the best player of all time in Lionel Messi. And if Manchester United to stop him, someone has really got to get amongst him, stop him getting on the ball. Maybe the man to do it, maybe Scott McTominay, I don't know. Maybe he could do that job or try to do that job at the best of his ability. I mean, we've seen some of the best teams of the last few years come up against the likes of Messi and struggled to stop him. Some teams have stopped him. We've seen Chelsea teams under Di Matteo stop him. We've seen teams under Jose Mourinho, Inter Milan teams stop him, but it is very, very difficult. Messi has to have a bad game and you pretty much have to bloody absolutely mark him out the game, or you have to set up so defensively, and I think Manchester United are probably going to set up to counter-attack in this game, even though we're at home. Barcelona probably will, as they usually do, have a lion share of the ball. They are not, though, the team of yesteryear where they had Xavi and Iniesta and them great names in the middle of the park, where they just kept the ball all day long. You just couldn't get the ball off them. They haven't got the likes of Neymar and David Villa and Samuel Eto'o and Ronaldinho's, some of them great players that they've had of yesteryear either, but they've still got Lionel Messi and Luis Suarez, who are both absolutely deadly going forward. They're their two main threats for Manchester United. They've scored the majority of their goals this season. Coutinho has been, well, I wouldn't say dreadful this season, but he hasn't been nowhere near hitting the heights that he did at Liverpool. He was a fantastic player at Liverpool, hasn't hit them heights, and he's getting a lot of criticism there, I think a bit unfairly, but hasn't hit the heights of obviously other players that have been and come at Barcelona, and their high standards just are so high at Barcelona. And we've seen Cesc Fabregas fail to really deliver greatly at Barcelona because of the fact that they've had so many great players and it's such high expectations that they've got to live up to. But they could absolutely murder Manchester United. It is possible. They've got the experience. They've been here. They've won these Champions Leagues many times over the last few years. And I think that this is just going to be one step too far for Manchester United. I think that even if Manchester United we've seen in the past where Jose Mourinho has put Herrera bang on Hazard and absolutely tried to man-mark him out the game as the danger for Chelsea. And he could also try and do that sort of role on Lionel Messi, but 1 moment of brilliance from Lionel Messi and it can be game over. It really can. But if you try to do that man-mark job with, well, it would have to be probably one of them players, the likes of Scott McTominay, would have to be on his game, and Herrera really on his game, not giving Lionel Messi an absolute minute on the ball, watching every bit of movement off the ball from Lionel Messi as well. But the problem is you've still got that real danger threat from Luis Suarez. That cunt is a goal machine. He scored so many goals for Barcelona, he scored so many goals for Liverpool. I hate that cunt, but he could, if you worry too much about Lionel Messi, he will cause you problems, Luis Suarez, and will hurt Manchester United. And I just don't think that Manchester United's defence is up to standard. At Old Trafford, I think in the Premier League we've only kept 2 clean sheets all season, and you cannot imagine Manchester United being able to stop this Barcelona team from scoring at least a couple in this game. And at home in the Champions League, I think we've hardly scored any goals. We've actually been better away from home against Juventus and PSG. They were our best 2 wins. Whether we deserve to win them games or not is another thing, but we scored 5 goals in them 2 games and somehow won both of them. I don't know how we did, but I don't know. But I think this is going to be very difficult for Manchester United. I think Barcelona are going to win this, sadly. I think this is where Manchester United's Champions League road ends. I think that Barcelona are going to win this game at Old Trafford 2-0, and I think it will just be too hard for Manchester United to go to the Nou Camp and turn this game around. Anyway, let me know your thoughts on the game. Like the video, subscribe to the channel if you're new, and I'll talk to you all again soon. See ya.